What is up, boys? Back at it with another fantasy football draft. Today we're doing another best ball draft over on Underdog Fantasy. They just recently released the puppy drafts, which are $5 drafts instead of 25. So we're gonna be ripping these all day, every day, trying to rip as many as we can. We just logged in. We got the 11th pick, which is pretty late. Only 12 is worse, but pretty happy to end up with the 11th pick. I think. Yeah. On this channel, I've mainly gotten top 5 picks, top 7 picks. So pretty nice to draft from a new spot. I haven't drafted from the 111 in a while. Hoping to get some value falling to us, but we'll see. We shall see. Over in this draft, we got a couple people. We got Ertzub, Tiger Play, Crickson, A-Team, Bowstrong Gorge. I don't even know how to say that. Wonder Kid, Art Barish, Blazer 2008. We're drafting against a 14-year-old here. About to smoke him. I feel a little bad. Ertzub does take Christian McCaffrey at the 101, which I am seeing a lot more, honestly, recently. It is pretty interesting, and I do think it's fair. I mean, you have very, very high upside in a guy like Christian McCaffrey, so it is possible Christian McCaffrey does turn out to be the best player in this draft, and it's not close. Me personally, I think that the current draft order that the draft is in is fine. Can't really be too mad about it. Then at 3 and 4, we got Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. And Jamar Chase. Derrick Henry going off the board at the 105. Wow. Oh my God. That is crazy. Right now, we're probably hoping for a good wide receiver. I would love to get the Stefon Diggs here. If not, I would gladly take Najee Harris or Dalvin Cook. This is kind of a tier break here. It is a little unfortunate. The 111 is a little tough because all these players are pretty similar. From Devonte Adams all the way down to CeeDee Lamb. Najee Harris goes off the board at the 108. I am hoping for Stefon Diggs. If somebody reaches on Devonte Adams too, that would be phenomenal. Dalvin Cook going off the board here at the 109. Can we get Stefon Diggs here? Patrick Sully, highly experienced, probably going to take Stefon Diggs. Let's see what he does. Patrick Sully waiting a full time, as the highly experienced drafters do. Travis Kelce, he goes Travis Kelce, so we're getting Stefon Diggs here at the 111. Wow. You don't see that too often, honestly. Stefon Diggs at the 111. Wow. Oh my God. Usually I see him go at the 108, maybe the 109. Joe Mixon and DeAndre Swift off the board here. We're taking, wow. Oh my God. We are taking Stefon Diggs and Devonte Adams. The wide receiver 1 and the wide receiver 3 from last year, at least in terms of their ADP. So we're getting 2 fire wide receivers to start. Oh my God. This draft could not have started any better. Wow, holy crap. Stefon Diggs and Devonte Adams. Devonte Adams, obviously on a new team, it is a little concerning. But Derek Carr was able to put up 4,800 yards. And the efficiency should go up now that he's going to have a second year in his new system without John Gruden. So, I'm pretty happy about getting Devonte Adams here. I would have considered CeeDee Lamb here as well if Devonte Adams was off the board. But getting Devonte Adams at pick 14 here, along with Stefon Diggs, is definitely something to be happy about. Now we have to hope some wide receiver value could fall to us in the next round, or running back value, rather. Maybe we could even end up with Alvin Kamara if the fantasy lords do decide to bless us. Mike Evans goes at pick 15, CeeDee Lamb at 16, Mark Andrews at 17, and Aaron Jones at 18. All very, very good players, in my opinion. Although I probably would not take Mike Evans that high, I would prefer somebody like Saquon Barkley or Deebo Samuel. I do understand the logic of taking a Mike Evans there. CeeDee Lamb at 16. CeeDee Lamb at 16 is pretty low, honestly. Even though CeeDee Lamb has never had a top 16 wide receiver finish, he's still a very talented wide receiver, and now going to be operating in an offense where his next closest competitor is probably Dalton Schultz, if not Michael Gallup when he's healthy. But Cooper Kupp, not Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb is absolutely expected to blow up this season. Saquon Barkley going at pick 20 to Boston Gorge. I'm thinking it's Boston Gorge. Boston Gorge, 8-team, taking Leonard Fournette, and then Tyreek Hill going off the board at pick 22. Javonte Williams going off the board at pick 23. Now we have Ertzub. or Eder sub up at the 212 and 301. We got DJ Moore and T. Higgins going off the board. Pretty interesting pairing. I gotta say, I do like DJ Moore. I don't think his stock should rise that high to pick 25, but I do like DJ Moore. A lot of these other wide receivers now, probably I'd have him between Keenan Allen and Mike Evans at this point. So I could see his ADP rising to under 30. AJ Brown off the board as well, pick 26. At this point, I really don't like the AJ Brown ADP. It is a little concerning. AJ Brown, obviously, a very talented wide receiver. But ending up in a situation with one of the most run-happy offenses in the entire league, I'm a little concerned. Mike Williams coming off the board at pick 27, a little early for Mike Williams, at least for my liking. This whole range, once you get past Nick Chubb, Keenan Allen, this whole range is a little concerning. Not concerning, but I would say there is a drop-off after, say, pick 21, maybe pick 22. There is a drop-off in talent. Maybe T. Higgins is probably the last great player. And then you still get Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's great. James Conner coming off the board at pick 29. And then Keenan Allen at pick 30. We are 4 picks away. Hoping to get our guy in Alvin Kamara. That would be awesome. These guys probably all are well aware of the Alvin Kamara likely 6-game suspension. But it is possible Alvin Kamara is only suspended 4 games. He's only suspended 2 games. It is possible he's not suspended at all. It is possible he's suspended 8 games, in which case we would be shitting the bed. But Alvin Kamara does go off the board here at the 308. Josh Allen at the 309. And we got Patrick Sully up here. I'm hoping for Marquise Hollywood-Brown. That would be awesome right about now. I just have an absolutely decked-out wide receiver core. I might do it. I'm taking Marquise Hollywood-Brown. I think I'm just going to have an absolutely decked-out wide receiver core here. Taking Marquise Hollywood-Brown, and Terry McLaurin goes off the board at pick 36. Deonte Johnson at pick 37. That's kind of what I was hoping for. Here we are going to be taking, I really don't like Michael Pittman that much. But if his ADP is Michael Pittman, I think I have to do it. I'm not a big fan of Michael Pittman, but I do see people drafting him all the way up at pick. It's ridiculous. I see him going as high as 24, 25. I've even seen him go higher. People really like Michael Pittman, and while I really don't as much, I haven't owned pretty much any Michael Pittman shares since I started drafting. In this case, going at ADP of 30 and getting him at pick 38 is enough of a value to where I'd say I definitely have a very unique team at this point. Courtland Sutton going at pick 39. We got a little bit of a wide receiver run going. I was kind of hoping for Deontay Johnson. It would have been very nice, and my wide receivers are absolutely phenomenal. Diggs, Adams, Brown, and Pittman. I'm going to need to make up the value at other positions later, but that's okay. I think I can do something like that in the later rounds, ending up with, hopefully, Josh Jacobs and maybe even J.K. Dobbins. It is possible running back values fall. They do a lot, honestly, in drafts like this. So it is possible I can end up with J.K. Dobbins and Josh Jacobs as my 2 running backs, which I'll be more than happy with. Or even end up with Jalen Hurts. I do really like the value at wide receivers later, as in Rashad Bateman, and Darnell Mooney, Chris Godwin. I do really like all these guys, especially how late Chris Godwin's gone at this point. So it is possible I will end up taking a 5th receiver here and just absolutely throwing. I've really never used a strategy like this before, but absolutely just picking wide receiver after wide receiver. Here we do have Cam Akers, Zeke, Jalen Waddle, Justin Herbert, DK Metcalf, and Gabe Davis going off the board. Again, a fairly big wide receiver round, I'd say. Usually, a wide receiver run does tend to happen from the end of round 3 till honestly pretty much the end of round 5 here. I would say after that there is a tier drop off. It is possible we're going to end up really, really pushing running backs back and hoping to get a guy like Damien Harris late. It is possible at this point. I think that might be what I'm doing. I might have to gamble a little bit, especially with the team combination I have now. Breece Hall still on the board. Jerry Jeudy just comes off. David Montgomery coming off as well. George Kittle coming off the board at pick 49. Makes sense. That's about where I see him. I think that's about where most people are taking him at this point. Still are a lot of good players on the board here. Quarterbacks still on the board. Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Brees Hall still on the board. I don't think he will be for long, though. Dalton Schultz coming off the board at pick 50. Wow. Oh my God. You don't see that too often. But if you really like a guy, nah, this guy's dumb. He does have a good team, though. I do like it. Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, and David Montgomery. But his wide receivers are so weak. I don't know who he's going to take at wide receiver in the future. That's a very interesting pick by Tiger Play. Brendan Cook's coming off the board at pick 51. Brees Hall still on the board here. Wow, 7 picks away. There's no shot. It's impossible for me to get him. But if he somehow does fall, my mouth is watering. My mouth is freaking watering at the possibility of getting Brees Hall. Oh my God. A-team. He's highly experienced. He's going to take the full time, as they always do. Probably going to take Brees Hall here. We shall see. He does go Brees Hall. Boston Strong, or Boston Gorge here, takes Chris Godwin at pick 53. A little early for Godwin, but can't be too mad. Wonder Kid is up. He's got a quarterback, Justin Herbert, and 3 wide receivers. His wide receivers are really, really strong. Ja'Marr Chase, Deebo Samuel, and Keenan Allen. Josh Jacobs coming off the board here at pick 54. It is possible. There's a lot of players I still like a lot. Pat Mahomes coming off the board. If Rashad Bateman or J.K. Dobbins are still on the board, oh man, I may actually end up taking one of them. Although I really, really should not take a wide receiver here. Getting a good wide receiver would be pretty nice. I mean, having 5 phenomenal wide receivers would be pretty cool. Lamar Jackson comes off the board. That was another person I was eyeing. I honestly probably would have taken Lamar Jackson had he been on the board. Blazers 2008 is up. He's very experienced. He's got an okay team. Juju Smith-Schuster is the pick. I got 4 wide receivers. I got nothing else. This guy, Patrick Sully, probably realizes that. And it's like, maybe I could wait on Rashad Bateman. I do have to. I have to do it. I really, really, really like Rashad Bateman this year. I'm going to take him. Now we have 5 phenomenal wide receivers. Hoping J.K. Dobbins can come back to us. If not, I'm taking Jalen Hurts. And just really punting on running backs. I don't think that'll happen, though. Joe Warriors already has 2 good running backs. I do think it is possible he takes a QB here, like Kyler Murray. He does go J.K. Dobbins here. We do get sniped. But we are taking Jalen Hurts. Now we have 5 great wide receivers, 1 great quarterback, and no running backs to show. 0 running backs whatsoever. I've never really pulled off a strategy like this. It's definitely going to be interesting to see on the video. 5 wide receivers, 5 absolutely great wide receivers, and now we could tank. We only need 2 QBs as well, so we're going to be taking a ton of running backs. We're going to be taking all these backups. We're going to be taking Alexander Madison. We're going to be taking Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damien Harris. We're going to be getting all these guys. Hoping for as many, a team like this, you're hoping for as many injuries as possible. In terms of hoping A.J. Dillon is the starter kind of thing. We do get Jalen Hurts here too. So basically, we're just hoping to defy the odds here pretty much, I would say. I do really, really, really like this team though. I mean, this whole core of 5 wide receivers is great. Now I just have to hope to get a guy who will fall. Hopefully Damien Harris. I mean, Damien Harris's ADP has been crawling up slowly. If I can get Damien Harris and one of these 4 guys to fall up here, whether that be Clyde, Miles Sanders, or Antonio Gibson, I would be more than fine with that. I guess Miles Sanders would be nice for the Eagles stack, even though it's not really the best stack, considering Jalen Hurts is going to be taking a lot of the rushing touchdowns from Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders didn't have a touchdown last year. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen again. Miles Sanders will most likely have more than 0 touchdowns, I would imagine. Antonio Gibson goes off the board here at pick 69. We're 13 picks away. It is possible that we can get one of these running backs to come off and come to our team, such as Miles Sanders or Clyde. That would be awesome. That's really what we need. We need a little bit of running back value to fall here. All these wide receivers should be off the board, as well as Joe Burrow, I would imagine. This team is interesting, I gotta say. We do have sort of a tier break here. Elijah Mitchell, Amon-Ra, Amari Cooper, A.J. Dillon, Elijah Moore, Antonio Gibson, and Drake London. I mean, I do like these players. I think all of them serve their purpose and do have some form of upside. I don't know. This to me really does feel like a tier break. This whole area. Trey Lance coming off the board at 72. That is pretty good news for us considering we already got our guy. We already have our quarterback. So we can get a couple quarterbacks pushed up the board. That would be nice. And as I say that, Russell Wilson comes off the board too. Got another quarterback pushed up off the board, and we have 3 teams in a row with no QBs. So it is possible another one of them will reach in a QB. 75. Quickster season, 18. Got 10 seconds left on the clock. DeAndre Hopkins coming off the board here. I do like that Drake London DeAndre Hopkins pairing. It is nice. I mean, there's nothing really too special about it, but I do like DeAndre Hopkins a lot. It is possible he does have a phenomenal season coming back. Boston Gorge does pick up a QB as well, meaning that there's value falling to us now at this point. I will hopefully. Now this guy has 3 running backs, so he probably will not take another running back, considering his running backs are pretty phenomenal. And his wide receivers are pretty good as well. Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, and Darnell Mooney. It is possible. I'm probably going to end up taking Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes off the board, absolutely ripping our hearts out. At this point, we don't really need wide receivers. Wide receivers are what's on the board. We're probably going to go with Joe Burrow here, honestly. Get Joe Shiesty. Get two phenomenal quarterbacks. Maybe even start a further quarterback run. Get more people to reach, because there are people reaching nonstop in this draft, which is crazy to me. Russell Gage coming off the board here. Patrick Sully is up. Hopefully get Joe Burrow, and then honestly take maybe Allen Lazard and not draft a wide receiver for the rest of the draft, or quarterback. That pretty much limits me to 2 positions of need. It's a really, really risky strategy. Really, really risky. The floor with this strategy is very, very, very low. Very low. This guy's definitely expecting to get Joe Burrow too. I'd definitely snipe Joe Burrow from him. He's definitely a little tight. The floor for this team is really low. Really, really. Actually, I might take T.J. Hawkinson. But going back, yep, he did. He takes Aaron Rodgers and Allen Lazard here. He's definitely tight that I took. that I took Joe Burrow. He's definitely really tight. But we get Joe Burrow and T.J. Hawkinson, meaning that we only need to take 2 quarterbacks. We only really need to take 1 other tight end. T.J. Hawkinson, not great, but I don't think wasting a 3rd tight end spot on on another tight end would be the move here. Damien Harris does go off the board at pick 88. We still don't have a running back, which honestly I don't think I've ever made it this late without having a running back. We're gonna have to hope somebody like James Cook makes it back to us. Take James Cook and somebody else. At that point, this is really the only way this draft is salvageable, is to get tons and tons of handcuffs and hope for the best. I've never ever drafted a team like this before with 0 RB. I guess maybe in hindsight, taking J.K. Dobbins over Rashad Bateman here probably would have been the move. And obviously, there was no way I was supposed to know Joe Burrow would have made it back to us at pick 83. So at this point, the Jalen Hurts pick is looking a little bit worse now. Maybe going with somebody like J.K. Dobbins here and then hoping Darnell Mooney falls. Or if not, just going Jalen Hurts anyways and picking up a solid running back too at least. Honestly, it probably was a bad pick in retrospect, but now we do have 5 phenomenal wide receivers. And now we could bolster the running back room later when there is some more depth. Like if I could get somebody like Kareem Hunt, if I could get somebody like Kenneth Walker here, Kenneth Walker goes, shit. If I could get somebody like that though, Cordero Patterson even, Devin Singletary. I would even take Melvin Gordon at this point. I do like Chase Edmonds too. I really haven't taken him much this year because there's no point. I usually get running backs early, and Chase Edmonds is in a range where I'm not really drafting running backs too much. I'm more so focusing on these wide receivers like Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, all of them. But if he is on the board here, I may consider taking him. It is possible. Kareem Hunt has been getting pushed up the board, and so is Kenneth Walker. We have 3 quarterbacks now also getting pushed up the board. Holy crap. It is a good thing, in a way, that we force this quarterback value up a little bit so we can force some of these players to land with us, like a Dawson Knox. I would really actually love Dawson Knox right now. If I get Dawson Knox, that would mean I only need to take 2 tight ends. That means the only position I really need to be drafting is getting 1 or 2 more wide receivers to fill out the room, and then literally just hammering these backup running backs, hoping I can get a situation where I can get like a Tyler Algier, and Tyler Algier picks up the starting role and walks into 200 touches. Because then at that point, this team would be insane. This team would literally be ridiculous. I just need to walk into a situation where I get a ridiculous running back, pretty much. That's the main hope at this point. I've never drafted a team like this, so it is interesting. And it's good that it's a puppy draft, so that I don't have to sweat it as much. I'm not spending $25 here for a team that probably does not have a good chance of winning at all. Instead, I'm spending $5. And I could just kind of more play around with strategies and things like that. I think this is interesting, playing around with strategies here. For, $5, I can't complain too much. Just to talk about who came off the board here. Got a lot of people: Tyler Lockett, Damien Harris, Hunter Renfrow, Tony Pollard, and Kenneth Walker. 3 straight quarterbacks, then Treylon Burks, Kareem Hunt, Chase Claypool, Rashad Penny, Dallas Goedert, and James Cook, and now Sky Moore. We're kind of hoping these wide receivers just start coming off the board. I'm really not trying to see Marquez Valdes-Scantling or Chris Olave on the board when we pick. Probably will end up taking Cordarrelle Patterson here. Maybe Dawson Knox as well. This guy doesn't have a tight end. Maybe I do end up taking Dawson Knox here. I don't really like the Patterson pick, honestly, because I had Patterson last year. I do like him, but, I mean, there's just no way. It's just impossible for him to have another season like he did. I just really very, very much doubt it. I really do. I probably will go with Devin Singletary here, especially because he is so high up the board. Hopefully Patrick Sully just goes with Chris Olave. I don't want a wide receiver. He's got Travis Etienne as his running backs. His wide receivers are not nearly as strong as mine, but he does have a better tight end. Yeah, I think Devin Singletary is the pick here, and maybe Chase Edmonds. I don't know though. I'm a little torn. Devin Singletary off the board. I'm going with Dawson Knox. This is a crazy team. This is actually the most ridiculous team I've ever put together, and it's not close. Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm doing this right now. Dawson Knox. I'm taking him. Screw it. Derek Carr coming off the board here. He does decide to take his second quarterback. You know what? do we go even more crazy? No, we can't do it. Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds has to be the pick here. Chase Edmonds has to be the pick here, I think. Chase Edmonds will be the starting running back. I'm pretty sure of it. At least the contracts dictate that Chase Edmonds will be the starting running back. And the Dolphins too. Ever since like the past 3 years, they've really ran a bell cow system. Getting a guy in a bell cow system this late, or potential guy in a bell cow system, can't be too mad about. He's my running back 1. This does look a little scary. But Chase Edmonds, if he is a bell cow, my team is so lethal. If he does turn out to be a really good running back, my team is absolutely lethal. I mean, this team is insane. If he does turn out to be a bell cow. And now I have 2 tight ends. I don't have to worry about getting another tight end. 5 insane wide receivers. So I can take a wide receiver if value falls, but if not, I'm fine with it. And 2 great quarterbacks. It's really just my running back position that's below average. Really, literally just my running back position, which is crazy. But it is a serious deficiency on my team. We got Rondell Moore, Cordarrelle Patterson, Robert Woods, Chris Olave, and Christian Watson all coming off the board. We got a little bit of a wide receiver run going here, which we like to see. Rather get these wide receivers off the board. Hopefully end up with value falling to us, like an Alexander Madison, like a Ronald Jones. I've never really used a strategy like this before, like I said, so I'm a little less comfortable with the running backs in this area than I am with the wide receivers, than the tight ends, because this is usually when I like to take tight ends. Not really so much quarterbacks, but definitely this is where I target my tight ends. This is where I target my wide receivers. So it is an interesting area, and a nice change of perspective on my team. So here we got Tim Patrick, we got Garrett Wilson, Tyler Boyd, Ramondre Stevenson, and Alexander Madison. It is a little tough to see some of these guys coming off the board, like Ronald Jones and Madison. 2 more running backs that I would have liked for my team. But on the bright side, we do have 8 or 9 wide receivers going off the board in a row. We'd like to see that trend continue. Gallup coming off the board. We'd like to see Freiermuth. All these tight ends coming off the board. It is possible. A lot of these people still, they're not really actually. Only a few don't have tight ends. Just a little weird. I thought more people would not have tight ends. Anyways, I think these two people, Wonder Kid and Boston Gorge, probably will end up taking a tight end rather soon. Seeing Pat Freiermuth on the board here at pick 125 when you don't have a tight end is pretty enticing, I would think. Here we probably are going to go Damien Pierce if he's available, as Damien Pierce will be a fairly decent running back option. If he starts, I mean, obviously there's a chance he doesn't start, and then this team is toast. But you got to expect you're in competition to win $80,000. Most of these teams are not winning $80,000. You got to take some risks. You really do. And the riskier your team, the lower the floor, but the higher the ceiling. And this team has a very low floor, at least at running back, but a very high ceiling. 5 great wide receivers, 2 tight ends that could both play very well, and 2 quarterbacks. Here we do have Pat Freiermuth going off the board to Wonder Kid, and Mecole Hardman now off the board as well. We got T'Challa. I don't even know how you say that. T'Challa. It's a cool name, honestly. I like that a lot. And then Blazers, 2008. Could take a quarterback here. He only has 1. It is possible. And Patrick Sully could do the same thing. One of these 2 guys taking Justin Fields, hopefully. Hoping Patrick Sully. The thing is, that's a little annoying, is Patrick Sully kind of has a similar strategy to me. Now he does go Trevor Lawrence, which is nice for us. We get Damien Pierce. But he has been going a similar strategy, so it is a little annoying getting your players sniped like that. I might honestly go Jameson Williams here. None of these running backs are really all that good. Jameson Williams does get sniped. Only other player I'm considering is Mike Gesicki. I don't really like Rachaad White too much here. Though it is possible he does get touches after if Leonard Fournette does suffer an injury. I'm gonna go and get a 3rd tight end. I'm gonna take Mike Gesicki here. So now we have 3 tight ends who are all about average. 5 wide receivers and two running backs. So now for the rest of the draft, we're just taking wide receiver and running back. That's it. That's the whole rest of the draft, which is honestly pretty nice. I do like the fact that all we have to do is take running backs and wide receivers. That is pretty nice. Especially getting Joe Burrow so late, too. I mean, there was a point where Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts were going at the same ADP. Now they're almost 10 picks apart. I got them 21 picks apart. Here we got Cole Kmet, Jamison Crowder, Michael Carter, and Rachaad White coming off the board here. I'm not really too big of a fan of any of these running backs here. Daryl Henderson, Nyheim Hines. I don't know why you'd take them, especially Nyheim Hines. I mean, what the heck is the point? He does get receiving value, so it is possible. But the thing is, the ceiling is just not there. Even if Jonathan Taylor were to get injured, there's no way Nyheim Hines takes over as the workhorse back. It's just not possible. Whereas if I'm taking somebody to be a backup, I'm taking them to be a workhorse running back if the main running back gets injured. For Nyheim Hines, it's just not possible. For Isaiah Spiller, it is possible he gets a good workload. Maybe it is possible that I should have taken Isaiah Spiller, but he's just a pass-catching running back. They have a great pass-catching running back. I'm not sure if you're aware, but they have this guy's name's Austin Eckler. He's pretty good. So I don't see Isaiah Spiller getting too many other touches. Of course, if they get injured, he's going to get all the passing down work. So there's a good argument to be made that Isaiah Spiller is good. And that he is a little different from somebody like Nyheim Hines. Hopefully, please just get these wide receivers off the board. I don't want to see him anymore. I really don't. I don't want to see him. Get him off the board, please. Take Jahan Dotson. Take Joshua Palmer. Get Robbie Anderson off this board. Now I got to load up on terrible, terrible running backs. Here, we got Devontae Parker, then Albert O, KJ Osborne, and Robbie Anderson. I would like to see more of these wide receivers off the board. They probably will. Tyler Algier. Oh, my God, that's painful. That was a shot to the gut. Get these wide receivers off the board. Honestly, at this point, if If there's no great running backs that we really want, because the next running back we're looking at is Tyrion Davis price here. There's no running backs that we really want. Hoping somebody like Jahan Dotson or Palmer falls. Because I imagine Tyrion Davis price will not probably go to Joe's Warriors. That's the hope, at least. So it would be nice to get a little bit more depth at wide receiver. And honestly, in this position, we could take 6, 7 wide receivers because our wide receivers are so strong. We could easily afford to take 6 or 7. And instead of taking 8 or 9, like I would say 6, but between 6 and 7. I wouldn't want to take 8. I certainly wouldn't want to take 9. All right, if I can get either Jahan Dotson or Joshua Palmer here, I would be pretty happy. I would be more happy with Jahan Dotson because of his ADP and because he's a rookie, drafted at 16th overall. I mean, you got to take draft capital into account. Whereas Joshua Palmer is getting first-team reps, but who knows how much he's going to be utilized in that offense. It is possible. It's very possible that I end up with neither of them, which would suck. Blazers 2008 might snipe me here, but he might also go JMO. Corey Davis. Okay, so we're guaranteed one of the two. I'm good with it. I really am. It is weird the way my team is structured. I'm not too big of a fan, honestly. Really not. But what can you do? It is an interesting team combination. We're going to take Jahan Dotson here. Got our 6th wide receiver. Maybe even secure wide receiver number 7 if Joshua Palmer still is on the board. Even though I can't justify it. I can't do this to myself anymore. Joshua Palmer is off the board. Thank God. We are taking Tyrion Davis price. So now we have 3 running backs. Hopefully a couple of them, or you get a chance to start. If all 3 of these guys do end up starting 17 games, this team will be insane. This team is ridiculous. If none of them get a chance to start, then I burned $5. I threw it away. Threw it into an incinerator. It is possible none of them get to start. It is possible one of them gets to start. But if all 3 of them get to start, then this team is really, really strong. Khalil Herbert going at pick 159. We got pick 160. Blazers is up again. So glad the Joe Warriors took Joshua Palmer. I'm so glad. Now we just have to hope. Get another running back or 2. Get a good running back. Even though I was trashing on Daryl Williams, it is possible he does get the starting role. So at this point, I'm just going for running backs that can provide me with any sustenance, any starting role. Maybe I will go Paris Campbell here, but that would really be the only other wide receiver I'd take, unless George Pickens falls. Somebody very good falls. I'm getting like a huge value. That'd be the only way I can justify taking a wide receiver here. And I do have 4 picks left, meaning I should end up with 3 more running backs, which will put me at a grand total of 6. 7 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, and 2 quarterbacks. I think that's a pretty good team combination. Not the team combination I usually go for. Their dream is 2582 or 2592. That's usually around what I strive for. I think 2592 is a pretty good balance. But anything could happen, If you end up in a draft and you end up getting supreme value on all of these players, except for Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman I probably should not have taken. But you end up getting supreme value on all these players. I think there's got to be some times where you just try a risky strategy. Try something new. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's $5 at the end of the day. Here we do have a pretty big tight end run coming off the board here. 4 tight ends in a row, which we really, really like to see. That's what we want. The more tight ends, the merrier. The more tight ends, the better. We can get tight end after tight end off the board here. We'll do that. Here we're just hoping maybe one more wide receiver. I do think Cameron Brate probably will go over the rest of these guys like Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee, Noah Fant, because the upside is there. Tyler Higbee, we saw what he was last year. Noah Fant, obviously going to a way worse situation. Or not really way worse. He's still with the same QB, but you got to compete against DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Gerald Everett, I could at least see the intrigue for. Cameron Brate's probably better than most of those guys, aside from maybe Gerald Everett, in terms of Gerald Everett's going to get a lot of opportunity. Here we do have J.J. Chark, J.D. McKissick, Marlon Mack, Nico Collins, Choku, Pickens, and Evan Ingram off the board. We got 2 more tight ends coming off the board here. Fabulous, phenomenal. That's what we want. So maybe we can get somebody like Daryl Williams. Daryl Williams' ADP has been rising. Lands deal with Arizona. It is possible he ends up producing pretty well. Maybe I'll get Daryl Williams and Benjamin. Actually, I don't really know. That sounds pretty risky. But getting Daryl Williams here and securing four good running backs, or four pretty trash running backs, but four running backs with an opportunity to have a pretty big workload if things break their way. If things don't break their way, $5. But we're hoping for Daryl Williams here. And we might cap it off. Daryl Williams does go off the board here. We are probably going to cap it off with one of these two wide receivers then. Or even, it's possible taking somebody like Jamal Williams is kind of smart. Maybe even Mark Ingram. I mean, he's a corpse. He's like 33 now, but be an interesting pick. I really don't want to do this, but I'm taking Paris Campbell. I'm doing it. I probably should have went with KJ Hamler, but I'm taking Paris Campbell. All right, now just running back. I think that's what I got to do. I'll take Mark Ingram here. Let's say the suspension goes longer than anticipated. Mark Ingram's going to have at least, you would imagine, most likely 4 games of production. And at this point, with a team like this, that's enough for me. I'll take it. And then we're going to hope. Maybe I pick up Sony Michel. No, I don't want Sony Michel. Actually, maybe it's possible. Maybe I take Sony Michel, Brian Robinson, Benjamin with 2 of my last 3 picks. Somebody like that. Some of those players. Other than that, Damien Williams got new news. Oh my god. Competing for a roster spot. Wow. Good for you, Damien Williams. Snoop. I still gotta do my research on Snoop Connor. Yeah, I think one of these players I think I'll end up with. If Jamal Williams is there, probably I'll take Jamal Williams, but I don't envision him being there. I think my order is probably these 3 in order in terms of most wanted to least wanted. So we'll end up with 2 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 7 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Just talk about what's going on the board. We got a pretty huge wide receiver run. 5 wide receivers out of the last 7 picks. Jameis Winston, and Austin Hooper. Been drinking a little too much. Both coming off the board here. Now Julio Jones, not even signed to a team, but I still like the pick. Good job, A-team. William Fuller, same thing. Not on a team, but it's okay. Devin Duvernay coming off the board as well. We got a lot of players coming off the board. Yep, like I said, Jamal Williams off the board. I'm not sure. I might have said Jameson Williams a couple times. Jamal Williams, that's what I meant to say. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but I guess you live and you learn. Bryan Edwards coming off the board. This team is so interesting. I've literally never drafted a team even close to this. Never seen this running back room before. It is possible that they pop off. It is possible they fail completely. We shall see. But now we got Raheem Mostert coming off the board. A-team is up, taking Zay Jones, Mo Alley Cox, Wonder Kid, 24 seconds on the clock. Let's see who he takes. Jared Goff coming off the board. I like this draft a lot, though. I mean, it's definitely an interesting team. I'll say that for sure. Definitely not a traditional route, but that's what I like about it. The fact that it's very non-traditional. It's not a team you see very often. It's not a team I draft very often. But that's what makes it unique, I would think. It's got a very low floor, but a very high ceiling. And sometimes it's good to take teams like that. Here we are, hopefully going to end up with Brian Robinson. And Brian Robinson, drafted this year. If Antonio Gibson goes down, Brian Robinson will most likely be seeing a lot of volume. I do think J.D. McKissic cannot handle volume at age 28, 29, something like that. He probably will not be able to handle much volume this season. So it is possible Brian Robinson is there to receive most of the volume. Even though they did resign J.D. McKissic, I imagine that's mostly for depth purposes. I mean, how much they really pay him. I think it was like a $3 million deal. He was going to go over to Buffalo, and it ended up failing, going through. So hopefully Brian Robinson here will add a little bit more stability to a very, very unstable room. So we get Brian Robinson here. And then hopefully Sony Michel. And we call it a day. I do like this team. I do like this team a fair amount. Getting Brian Robinson here. And now Sony Michel. Unless this guy takes Sony Michel, which is possible. Because he does only have 4 running backs, which is a little surprising. Unless his 4 running backs are pretty insane. So I guess it is not too surprising. Although DeAndre Swift had a pick like that. Ernest Johnson. Wow. Ernest Johnson, an interesting pick, I will say. But it just takes so much. I know last year he got good playing time, but that's very, very fluky. Very fluky. I mean, I don't see a situation. It is possible, of course. It's fantasy football, but I don't see a situation where the 2 starting running backs get injured yet again. Here we will take Sony Michel, get a nice backup to Chase Edmonds, and call it a day. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below. Tell me how I did. Let me know if this running back strategy is absolutely terrible, or if you think it is viable in the future. Let me know if you were surprised with any of these picks. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day.